Hello, everyone, and happy or Merry Christmas Eve. I know we're not officially Christmas Eve, but we're almost there. So for those who celebrated, Merry Christmas. I trust that it's been a beautiful holiday with loved ones and that there's been an abundance of winks that are helping you to remember how much you are loved in the seen and in the unseen and how much you're supported. And I am really excited about tonight. And I feel like I say that all the time, but I always get excited about these calls and these events and just anytime that I get to share and deliver the guidance that is being delivered by the divine. But tonight I'm going to share a few tools that I do. So there's something that I've been doing probably for 5 to 7 years. So it's been a while. And it's a process that helps me to pretty much reclaim clarity of the year that's about to end and helps me to create the desired momentum that I want to move into in the year that is to come. And I choose to play with the experience. What does that mean? Is that I actually make this like a creative, artistic experience in which I get to reflect, I get to appreciate, I get to identify what I'm choosing to let go, but I also get very clear in defining who I am becoming and who I am aiming to embody for the year and who am I really calling forth even further. And I'm talking about like connections, friendships, opportunities, business opportunities, like all sorts of things, and also those things that I want to manifest. And I decide and I commit, thank you, I'm audibly being encouraged to say, and I commit that I become willing, available, and open to receiving all those things for the year with grace and ease. So I'm going to talk about those things in the process. And it's a process that I give my clients. It's a process that I love to share with those that I get to coach. And I've done events on this. So you're getting a taste of what is done and what gets experienced. If this is something you're interested in learning more, we do have it available, I believe, on my in my store. And if not, it'll be something we'll definitely be creating as an event and something that you can download, which goes into a lot more depth into the experience. One of the things that happened to me back in 2012, 2014, sometime around there, I had a beautiful angel, cosmic angel that showed up, and she said to me, Vision Quest. And when she said the word Vision Quest, she pretty much like opened up this vision, this portal in which she was showing me the different areas of my life. And she laid it out in quadrants, in compartments. And one was me being very clear of who I wanted to be, who I wanted to embody, who I wanted to become, what I wanted to feel, how I wanted to be in, how I wanted to feel within my body, with my emotions, with my mindset, with my attention, thank you, and focus, like how I wanted to identify and be seen, not just by myself, but by others as well. Then I was encouraged to identify my sacred space, my home, my building, my sacred relationships, like how those things look like and what I wanted to feed into those things, but also what I wanted to receive within those areas of my life. And then she also encouraged me to get very clear in even defining and I'm audibly hearing home, which I feel like I've already identified that, but I'm audibly hearing that loudly. It was a guidance into how to define and again, like articulate, right, what I wanted my home to be about, which goes back to the idea of sacred space, but they wanted me to repeat that. And then again, relationships and how I relate with loved ones, with my kids, with a partner, with my clients, like getting clarity in all those things. And then she also would encourage me. So all these are the different areas and compartments. The next thing she would encourage me to do is get very clear about those things that I wanted to enjoy and manifest and play with, adventures that I wanted to be part of, and defining all those things, all feeding the clarity of the emotion that I wanted to be embodying and the emotion I wanted to be enjoying through all those different intentions. And then the last compartment that she would have me get clear on is what I wanted in my delivery with my purpose, with my career, with my business, like with what impact I wanted to offer and deliver into the world. So she shared all these different compartments and she was showing me the flow that occurs and takes place when we get very clear in defining and leaning into that which we desire in all those different areas. And then from there, she would encourage me, or she encouraged me, and I do it with my clients and myself, is that to identify a word a word that embodies and encompasses that perfect circle within all those areas, and it brings it together. So every year I pick a word, right? Exuberance was last year. Mastery was in 2019. So every year I create a different word that I choose to help me anchor what I've decided in all those different compartments, but also it's a word that I invite universe, God, higher self. I invite a collaboration that can come in many forms and in many variations that help me to step into owning that, becoming that, and delivering that, not just for myself, but everybody who is part of my life as well. And with all that being said, I'm just giving you guys a little bit of an understanding of something that I'm encouraging all of you to do. And then now we're going to go into specific questions and things that I do to help guide that process. For those that are jumping in, please make sure you watch the replay of this, because we are discussing how to create the momentum you want for 2022 or the year to come whenever you're listening to this, and how to really surrender into the gift of the year that's about to be surrendered, right? The year that's coming to a close. So I'm talking a little bit of creation today, a little bit about manifesting, a little bit about using the time, the collective energy that we're all feeding all over the world, that it's a time of a new beginning, at the time of a new year. And I know that depending on the culture, it might look a little different, but there's a large majority that are identifying with the idea that we're stepping into a new year, a new opportunity, a new beginning that can offer a different flavor to our life, a different possibility, right? A different hope for us to be able to enjoy as well. And I know right now with so many different things that are happening in the collective, and a lot of fear being presented, a lot of fear being enticed for us to lean into and look at, it's really a very pivotal and really crucial opportunity, or you want me to say it differently? It's of important essence, they're saying, for us to really come into a place, especially this year, where you get very clear in how you want to define your progress, how you want to define your momentum, and how you choose to become through the year that is to come. And understanding that, again, that reminder that we are creators. You are a creator, I'm a creator, we're all creators. And when we come together to collaborate in a bigger vision, even if it's just us feeding our own higher vision, right? We raise into a different place. And also collectively, we can go ahead and shift and change a lot of things that we're seeing. And sometimes it's hard to perceive how that's possible, but I've seen it. I've done it. I've collaborated with people in my own experience in my own life, even if other things are moving in another direction in the majority of the collective. There's a way that you can shapeshift in your life and within your world that creates beautiful possibilities that go outside that which is being perceived by most people. And part of the gift is that we need to decide, we need to own that we are, again, creators. We're more than these bodies. We're more than these eyes. We're more than these fingers. We're more than our senses. We're more than our emotions. That there is this divine manifestation that moves through each of us that represents infinite possibilities. And we need to remember, go back into that remembrance that we came here at the perfect time. We came here on purpose. And the biggest destiny we all are coming into embracing is that we're here remembering that we are more than just humans and more than these bodies. So as I talk about all these things, that again, this angel, when she talked about the vision quest and getting clear in different areas of her life and the different things that I'm going to guide you tonight about creating the life you want, and getting clear about 2022 and what it is that you really want, it's because you're going, thank you. And what they're saying, you're moving into ownership of who you are. You're moving into ownership about what's possible within your life outside of the fear-based narrative that unfortunately is taking place right now in the majority of our collective. Okay. So if you don't have a piece of paper, I would suggest you get a paper and a pencil so you can go, if you're live, you can go ahead and do that. If you're on replay, you can do this too. And if not, you're going to get a replay of this, or you can rewind it and you can go ahead and enjoy the process and the different questions that I'm going to give you. The questions I'm going to give you tonight for you to take time to journal and get clear on are part of, you can call it a vision board, you can call it a vision quest, you can call it whatever you'd like, but the intention is that you're going to get very clear in defining yourself and what it is you're going to lead into, and trust and know that you've got this. And I'm being shown Archangel Michael and this beautiful master just standing right here that is also identifying that we have to decide, and I know I said this earlier, but they're telling me to repeat it, that you have to decide that you're willing to receive it, that you're willing to accept the help, that you're willing to surrender to its delivery. So as you're going through these questions, as you're getting clear on what it is that you're leaning into in each of the areas that we just talked about, you're also needing to simultaneously decide, I am willing, open, and available to receive this for myself, to receive the insights that will get me there, to receive the support that's going to help me feel more of the grace and ease and the uplift of the experience of these decisions. I am willing, ready, and able to receive. And understand that, again, this is not a process, even though, yes, it's a process you're doing on your own, and maybe you do it with your kids and your family. I do it with my kids. I love doing this with my kids. But it's one of those things that you're doing this with something greater, your angels, your guides, the masters, your higher self. Like, there is this delicious collaboration that is leading you through the process and through the experience as well. And it's that bigger you, that greater you on the other side saying, you've got this, like, right? We're doing this together. This beautiful presence of you that is already on the other side, celebrating that all that you're creating is already done and complete and owned by the self. All right, so I'm going to go through the questions. For those, again, that are joining a little later, please make sure you enjoy the replay. We talked about the different areas of the life of getting clarity on, because it creates that perfect circle, and then identifying that one word that brings it all together so I can lead you forth with grace and ease. All right, so one of the first questions that I ask myself, and I journal and I take time to identify and also guide my clients through, is that I encourage a list of 5 or more things. And again, this is where you start taking notes if you want to take notes. So you can do this in another day. List 5 or more things that are celebrations or things that you can feel grateful for, or accomplishments that were part of the year that's about to end. So for 2021, for me, for example, creating the children's platform and the growth of that and the intention to deliver that more intentionally, that to me is a huge celebration, a huge thing to feel grateful for, and really feel a sense of arrival, right? In my commitment, in my decision to lean into this and say yes to this. So that's one of the things I would add to my list. And when you're doing these things, I want you to really like savor what you're exploring in your mind, savor what it is that you're just being grateful for, savor it. Don't just kind of like do it really quick and write it down. Like, really take a moment to savor those things that you're identifying as celebrations and things to be grateful for. They keep saying the word, taste the gift, enjoy it. And they're probably using that language because I'm a sensory person. I love taste. I love smells. I love touch. So for me, like when they say taste, like really savor the gift of those things to be grateful for. It's like really taking in and like using your senses, using your mind, using your memory to really dwell in the gift of what was that you're appreciating. Okay. So again, 5 or more things. And I would list in a journal, and if you have my angel book, which for those of you who don't have my angel book, those are available. I'm going to just share it really quick. Let's just share it really quick. And I see so a few people who are on the call who do have it, but this is another way to help you with exactly what we're doing right now. And it's a 90-day intention calendar journal. With all that being said, so you're going to go ahead and list those things. And then the second question that I asked is that I list the top 3 or more epic arrivals. It sounds similar to the first one, but it's different. Epic arrivals are like big ahas, big breakthroughs, big emotional awakenings, big spiritual awakenings, big renewals, big accomplishments that go outside the physical reality that you're in. Arrivals in like, oh, wow, I actually realized that I'm stronger than what I thought. one of the things for me is actually getting told and shown that my heart's that I have no scars from what happened to me in 2019 with my heart attack. My heart looks perfect, healthy, and strong. So that to me is an arrival, because it helps me to remember the strength and the resourcefulness of my body, and the power of my decision to share love with my body, the power of my decision to decide that my body is able to renew itself with grace and ease, and that it's a powerhouse of light. And me feeding that helped me to really own and understand that I'm able and capable to heal stuff within my body that seemed impossible. So that's an arrival for me. So part of your role is to go through the year. It could have happened in January of 2021. It could have happened in the beginning of the year, but identify what are those arrivals that you're like, wow. Again, the word savor, they're saying again, that you can truly, and oh, wow, energy is moving to my hand, through my hands intensely. Those things that you can truly savor, like, wow, I did this, I accomplished this. This is a gain, a celebration that goes outside just the physical reality that you're in. Okay, the next one is 3 or more memorable moments. So for me, that's going to include a lot of moments with beautiful friendships that I have in my life, with my children, with my family, just literally just even talking about it. I just go through these memories and things that I was able to enjoy with my travels, with new friendships, new connections, with my kids, and like creating things and playing and like doing all these fun things, like memorable moments. And it doesn't have to be ordinary. It could be a moment that you woke up one morning and you were appreciating your partner, your lover, your spouse, or a moment in which you're appreciating your child, but just memorable moments, 3 or more. Again, these don't have to be so extraordinary that you're like, oh, I can't think of, like, it could have been something that happened yesterday that it was just a very special moment in which you felt that sense of fulfillment. All right. So 3 or more memorable moments, experiences, things like that. Okay, number 4, the 4th thing that I like to journal, encourage my clients to do, it's 3 or more commitments that this year has inspired you to make for the coming year. Okay, for me, I'm asking what's a good, I have to do the exercise, the commit one, I've made several commitments. So I just finished Date with Destiny, and I love it. It's one of my favorite events. This is already my 4th one that I've been to. And one of the commitments was creating new questions, new ownership on beliefs, new ownership in affirmations, intentions, decisions. Like that to me is an example of a commitment to those decisions that I made that I know are going to pull me forward in my life to create even more, all the things that I desire, even more success, even more impact, even more delicious quality time with my loved ones. Like those things are part of my commitment, right? So those things are part of my list. Those are the things that I'm moving forward with. So again, all of you have commitments. Things might have happened, good things or bad things, that are really helping you to own commitments that are a must, that are non-negotiable, things that you're moving forward with. And for example, even working out, I got a treadmill and a bike, and I said, this is part of my commitment. And I stay pretty active with my kids, so that's my actual workout, my dancing and staying active with my kids. But I've made a very clear decision that the working out has become part of my commitment and momentum that I've started, and I'm going to continue here in 2022. So there's a few examples there. The 5th question and statement or intention I move into with this exercise is 3 or more opportunities that you will continue to feed and move forward with. Those could be opportunities, aha, or insights that came in the beginning of the year and you paused, and it's time for you to pick them up in 2022. So all these opportunities could be connections, people that you have met, or ideas, or explorations, or projects that you've started, or businesses that you've started and just haven't completed. But again, these are opportunities. These could be courses, classes, or saying courses, maybe something you've started and you need to complete or finish, but opportunities that you're going to choose to make sure you continue to feed, that you continue to give attention to, that you continue to get active with, that you can continue to be part of, again, your commitments, or want me to say commitments again to this one. Number 6. Okay. And this is one of those things that it requires a little more soul searching. And this is actually one of my favorite questions. It's like where I get very clear, right? So I get very clear in defining, okay, what do I want to be celebrating at the end of 2022? What are those things that I'm like, man, if this happens, right? Or this gets owned, or this next level of me gets awoken and I step into it and I enjoy and I embrace it, what does that look like? And what I do is that what is the mindset that I need? What beliefs do I need? What decisions do I have to make? What thoughts do I need to feed? What emotions must I feel? What actions must I take? What are those musts that will make that outcome inevitable? Right? What are those things? What is that mindset that is going to literally be part of that powerful force that is going to drive my human self into action, into receiving, and to committing? So for example, a mindset, right? A mindset or a belief that you can feed, or decision or a thought that you can feed, or an emotion you can feed, is that for me is that I'm going to commit to receive, right? I'm going to commit and decide that I am willing, ready, able, and I am worthy of receiving. So, and I know I mentioned that example earlier, but it's like even making that's a mindset. So what's the thoughts that would be connected with that? Right? So some of the thoughts, some of the mindset is that I'm so blessed. Life is for me. Life unfolds and shows up in ways that lead me with grace and ease. I'm provided for, right? Those are some of the mindsets, beliefs, right? That it's a friendly universe, that we live in a friendly universe, in a friendly world, that those that want to, and they're reminding me of a conversation. I did a session today, and one of the things that they were sharing with her, one of the beliefs that she needed to further own, and apparently this is going to resonate with some people live or on replay, and they're moving energy to that, which usually when they move energy, for those who are new to my work, when they move energy like that, it's like moving out the fears that would keep you from receiving or owning something like this. But part of what they were sharing with her, helping her to understand, is that which is destined for her can't be missed, right? So that could be a mindset or a belief or a decision she makes. That which is destined for her cannot be missed. That includes opportunities, that includes relationships, that includes ideas, insights, destiny, like it includes all sorts of things. So for her, as an example, for hers, that would be something she would include in a belief, in the mindset, and the decision. And then she would write out, like, what are the thoughts? What are the thoughts that I have to be thinking to make that true? What are the conversations I need to be having with myself and other people that feed that truth? What are the emotions that help me savor and enjoy that truth? So part of this number 6, part of the exercise is that you're getting very clear in defining those qualities that are required to help you be inevitable to what it is that you're moving into and have decided you want to be part of your 2022. Thank you. And I'm hearing Archangel Michael, and I'm also being shown these beautiful visions of these angels and beings of light. Pretty much, thank you. Got it. They're saying we're demonstrating love. That when we take time to do what I'm giving you guys right now to help your 2022 be what you want it to be, when you take time to do this, there's this awe-inspiring delivery of love and support that shows up. When we make these decisions, there's this other side of our soul, this other side of our reality that doesn't always get seen by a lot of people. But if you're sensitive and intuitive, you get to see it, is that other side is saying, I've got you. You're being asked, like, decide so that we can show up and meet you on the other side and lead you and support you along the way. Thank you. You're being asked to invite the ease of surrendering, to invite the ease of really owning faith and trusting that as much as you've made that decision for yourself, that decision is also being made outside of you and being pulled for you as well. Thank you. And understanding that you're way more loved than what your human mind could ever conceive. So as I'm giving you these things, and number 6 is so important. Thank you. Because it's going to help you define who you need to be so that your destiny can come with grace and ease. It's coming. Your destiny is coming. It's inevitable. One thing that I know many of you have heard me say is that back when I was young, since middle school, they would tell me you are inevitable. You're inevitable. Who you came here to be, what you came here to do, what you came to embody, you're inevitable. So why doubt? Lean into the faith and trust. And the same thing they tell me and they've told me since I was young is being told to you. You are inevitable. Regardless of the regrets, regardless of the delays, regardless of the distractions, regardless of everything else that you feel might have gotten in the way, including yourself, you are inevitable. So for number 6, you're defining those things that once again help you to own, embrace, and anchor that you are inevitably moving into those desires and intentions, right? So who do you have to become? And you're going to define it in such a way where when you look at it, it's very easy to be understood, owned, and delivered. And again, more people are jumping in. I want to just remind you guys, all this is being recorded. I do recommend continue enjoying this conversation with us live, but please also take time to listen to the beginning because it's giving you instructions of what we're doing. This is actually a little bit of a vision quest, which I shared a little more of what that is in the beginning. And this is also an opportunity for you to really own back your creative ability, your creator insights, so that you can lead into the new year what it is you're wanting with the momentum that is going to carry you through. All right, number 7. And this might be the thing that we may not enjoy the most, but it's very powerful. And the irony is it's probably going to be the easiest for some people. And it's regrets, identifying those things that you wish would have been different. Regrets with yourself, regrets with decisions, regrets with things that took place. What are the things that you wish wouldn't have played out the way they did? And you're going to list those things, and it's not for judgment. It's not to dwell in the sadness of it or whatever other emotions are associated with the idea of regret, but more as an inspiration that you get to decide for it to be something that doesn't become part of your 2022. As you review these things, you're going to be used as a fuel of inspiration that is going to help you anchor what it is that you're going to move into and what you're going to decide to let go and surrender so it doesn't become a replay in your coming year. Thank you. And they're audibly saying it's powerful insights that we can step into when we decide what we no longer want to recreate. You know, it's that idea, let's stop rewinding some of the same stories, some of the same effects, some of the same situations that we've had maybe for more than 1 year. This is an opportunity to really sit back and with love, look at our year and decide what are the things that I'm no longer going to shake hands with, agree to, co-create with, recreate with. Number 8. And again, that's 3 or more. Number 8, 1 or more delays that you're choosing to let go. And I know it sounds similar to 7, but it's different. 1 or more delays that you're choosing to let go. And they're very intentional with the word delays. Delays can be procrastination. Delays can be distractions. Delays can be pause buttons, you know, those pauses that we're putting, procrastination is the same thing. What are some of the 1 or more delays that you're choosing to let go of? Sometimes those could be habits or addictions as well. That in that number, you can include those things. What are some of the addictions or distractions or habits or things that are just not adding to your growth, to your unfoldment, and to the life you want to create? Number 9. What fears, doubts, insecurities will you be leaving in your past? And I love this idea. They're giving me a vision of a coat, right? So you're going to go ahead and identify all the fears, the doubts, the regrets, or things that you're literally going to take off. What quote are you going to take off that you're not going to go and walk into in the coming year, right? What's an old clothing that doesn't fit anymore? What are some of those fears and doubts that realistically you've outgrown, but for some reason, you decide to keep going back and putting the coat back on? Like it no longer fits you. So they're literally showing me a vision of a coat. So when you do number 9, you need to stand up and actually imagine, you're like, okay, what fears am I carrying with me? What things of my past am I carrying with me? What doubts, what insecurities, what triggers that are not really real triggers that I need to be freaking getting triggered by, right? What are those things that I'm freaking carrying in my back that I need to just take off? And I want you to really actually, and I would encourage, like, again, I literally do this when I do my exercise, is that I literally put my body in a weird place and I'm like, what is this? Like, what is on me? And I take deep breaths and I check in and I get very clear in defining what are those things that I'm carrying through that are adding weight to me, that are keeping me from being free, that are keeping me from being in my exuberance. And I get very clear on that and I write those things down, and then I take a deep breath and I decide, okay, I'm letting this, and this go. And then I breathe in and I imagine myself standing up and taking off the coat, taking off that weight, taking off that which was weighing on me, that which no longer fits me, that which no longer should be what I am choosing for my future, for my day, for myself. Okay. All right. Number 10. What advice or inspiration would your future self, your future 2022 self, offer to you today? So you're going to play with the idea that you're time traveling and you're going into the future and you're connecting to your future self, and your future self is going to let you know, give you an inspiration. What would your future self tell you so that it can help you to meet him or her on the other side? Okay. And then the last question, number 11. Now that you are almost completed with 2021, or completed with 2021, if you're doing it on the last day, what advice would your 2020 self, so now you're getting into your time machine, traveling machine, and you're going to your past, what would advice for your 2020 self offer to your 2021 self? Hope that makes sense. So now that you're almost completed with 2021, what advice would your 20, the person who was back in 2020, what advice would you give yourself today, back then, in whatever space you were in? What advice would you give yourself then so that you can be a better today now? And then the last thing to this exercise, which again, we talked about all the different areas in the beginning, and then you complete the exercise by actually taking time to do breath work or meditation and or journaling, and or they're saying journaling. And you're going to go ahead and, like I said earlier, savor those things that you've just said yes to. Take time to visualize it. Take time to dance with it. Take time to fall in love with it. Take time to make love to it. Like take time to really be in the gift and the ownership of all those things that you've just gotten clear about. And for those who want to create a vision board, as you're taking time to get clear on these things, you can go and find images and even affirmative prayers or affirmative thoughts that then you can make into an actual vision board, right? Vision board, vision quest, and you can put it up in pictures, put it on your office, your home, your space. And again, this is something that is going to take it further. One of the things that I do for me personally is that once I'm done with all of this, I create triggers in my life. Triggers of joy, triggers of what it is that I've decided. So I've got, and I would show you, but we just moved here. So I've got boxes. So I can't show you that right now, but I've got literally my whiteboard, and I just bought this glass thing for my wall that I'm going to go ahead and be writing stuff. So I'm going to put triggers all throughout my house. Triggers of hope, triggers of joy, triggers of what it is that I've decided, triggers of what I've claimed, triggers to my ownership of what it is that I've stepped into through this experience and through this process. That could be colors, you know, I don't have them now because I just shared an event. So, but I have I have the picture of my cosmic, my diamond destiny. So that's in my room. It's in my office. And then I have another spot in the house where it just becomes triggers. Like I'm owning my diamond destiny. I'm trusting in my diamond destiny. I'm being pulled into my diamond destiny. I'm saying yes to my diamond destiny. And then for, as I mentioned earlier, I just did an event and I got very clear in defining certain intentions, affirmative things and questions and all these things for my different areas of my life. So that is up in my office right now. And that becomes my anchor that I get to see literally when I'm even working with clients, my subconscious is picking up that reminder. So the reason you put anchors, you put it like this for me is I might be saying it's a crystal that to me reminds me of my diamond destiny. So I'm wearing a trigger. So every time, whether I'm actually thinking about it or not, my subconscious knows that when I touch this or when I feel it, it's a trigger to everything that I've invited and I'm welcoming in my life. My necklaces are triggers. So again, whether I'm consciously looking at it, my ring's a trigger as well. So all of these are from different years that are very significant triggers for me. So what happens is because I got very clear in defining what the trigger, what the gift of these tools are for me, my subconscious is automatically picking up and affirming and intending and anchoring all my triggers, my positive triggers. Because the irony is that we have triggers that are actually not positive. There are a lot of, our home has a lot of negative triggers. And I hate saying that, but we have a lot of things in our home that remind us of the old, that remind us of things that we've chosen to let go of. So a good thing to do in the beginning of this year or before the ending of this year is to actually go through your home. Like, what have you outgrown? What is in your home space, in your office, in your room, in your bathroom that has the triggers of weight, the triggers of sadness, the triggers of that which you don't want anymore? And redefine new triggers that pull you up. And be very committed. Think they're saying automobile. So some of you live or on replay have things in your car that are triggers of what is no longer wanted. So create triggers of what it is wanted and desired and move into feeding those. Thank you all for joining me here on Christmas Eve. I know a lot of people were very busy. So those that joined live, I'm honored and inspired that you took time to be with me. So grateful. And those that are on replay, I'm so grateful that you're taking time to enjoy this replay, especially because we're delivering something that's very powerful. Again, I do this for myself. I do it with my clients, and the results that I've seen personally for myself and other people are tangible and impressive. So if you can commit, again, this is a taste of the process for those who want more. Again, I believe we have that in the store where there's a vision quest. And if not, we'll be making that available soon. So it's one of those things that you can dive deeper into the creation of this. But much love. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy delivery, early delivery into your new year. And I trust that this is going to be the most delicious year because you're deciding today you're going to make it that, regardless of what's happening out there. Remember, you ultimately are in control of your decisions. You're in control of the meaning that you give to things. You're in control of the emotions, whether you realize it or not. You are truly more in control than you know. And part of what's happening is that life is asking you to define what it is that you're wanting, so that from there you can respond, decide, and move forward with it. Thank you so much for being part of my life, for the opportunity and the gift to be here with you. And much love, many blessings. And thank you. Good night.